Imagine buying your dream lakefront mansion, a peaceful escape with sparkling waters and quiet evenings, only to find that your biggest nightmare lived right next door. That's what happened to Marcus, a hard-working man who wanted nothing more than to enjoy his success in peace. But his new neighbor, a woman who proudly called herself the protector of the neighborhood, had other plans. She wasn't just nosy, she carried the attitude of someone who believed she owned the entire community. People called her Karen, and she wore the title like a crown. At first, Marcus tried to ignore the strange stares and passive remarks, but it quickly escalated. Karen decided Marcus's lakefront mansion was too extravagant and didn't fit the spirit of the neighborhood. And then, one summer weekend, she crossed the line in a way no one could have imagined. It started as a quiet Saturday morning, but by noon, Marcus noticed something unusual. Cars lined up down his street, strangers pouring out of them in groups. His driveway was blocked, and his private dock buzzed with noise. Music blasted, laughter echoed, and before long, nearly 100 uninvited guests filled his backyard. At the center of it all, Karen, holding a microphone, announcing it was the community's lake party. She had decided, without asking, that Marcus's property was now her stage. His expensive furniture was dragged around, his grill was taken over, and even his private boat was being used like it belonged to the crowd. Marcus couldn't believe his eyes. His safe haven had turned into a circus, all because one woman thought she had the right to invade. The more Marcus tried to reason, the worse it got. He approached Karen, asking her to shut it down, but she laughed in his face. "This house may have your name on it, but this neighborhood belongs to us," she declared, while the crowd cheered. Marcus felt humiliated, standing on his own property, treated like an outsider. His security cameras recorded everything: the noise, the chaos, the damage being done to his lawn and deck. Food spilled across the floors, trash piled up, and one of his windows was cracked by careless guests. It wasn't just disrespect, it was destruction. Marcus had worked his entire life for this home, and in a single afternoon, Karen had turned it into a public playground. But what she didn't know was that Marcus had a plan, and it involved more than just asking for an apology. That night, as the last of the guests stumbled away, Marcus walked through his ruined property. His heart pounded with frustration, but instead of losing control, he stayed calm. He reviewed every angle of his security footage, documenting each detail. Every car, every face, every word Karen spoke into that microphone, he had it all saved. And then he called his lawyer. The next morning, a different kind of storm hit the neighborhood. Karen woke up to find legal papers waiting for her. Marcus had filed a lawsuit, not just against her, but against every single person who had trespassed onto his property. The number was staggering: $100,000 in damages for each individual. Suddenly, Karen's proud grin began to fade. At first, the neighborhood thought Marcus was bluffing. But soon, reality set in. Letters arrived at every guest's door, and panic spread like wildfire. Families who thought they were just at a casual, community party were now facing lawsuits that could destroy their savings. The same people who cheered Karen were now pointing fingers at her, furious that she had dragged them into this mess. Karen tried to rally support, claiming Marcus was overreacting, but the footage spoke louder than her words. Every homeowners association meeting turned into chaos, neighbors demanding Karen take responsibility. What once was her power base crumbled beneath her. In court, Karen tried everything: excuses, tears, even claiming Marcus gave permission for the party. But the judge only had to watch a few minutes of the footage to see the truth. With each clip, Karen's credibility vanished. Her smug voice announcing the community lake party became her downfall. The ruling came swift and heavy: Marcus had the right to full compensation. Each trespasser owed $100,000, and Karen, as the instigator, carried the largest share of the blame. The silence in the courtroom was deafening as the judgment was read. Karen's world collapsed in front of everyone she once controlled. When it was over, Marcus stood tall, not just as a homeowner defending his mansion, but as a man who refused to be disrespected. His victory wasn't just about money, it was about principle. Neighbors learned that boundaries mattered, and arrogance had consequences. Karen, once loud and untouchable, was left with nothing but regret. The same lakefront mansion she tried to invade now stood as a symbol of justice. And Marcus? He finally had his peace, watching the sun set over the water, knowing his story would be remembered as the day one man took on the noise of 101.